Welcome to the new MYFC Podcast. Hello and welcome again to the podcast. My name is Augustine Sasso. I'm Augie Sasso on the boards. You can email me at augiesasso@yahoo.com. That's AUGIESASSO at yahoo or at gmail.com. Got a great little show for you. Great interview with Charles Webster I did last week. We talk a little bit about Liam's coaching style, the type of players that we have, the caliber, quality of players in the Blue Square Bet South, and some other things. I was actually away last weekend. Personal holiday, visiting family down in Virginia. Wasn't able to put the podcast up as fast as I wanted to. I've got a couple of new segments. One, I will tell you what I've learned about the area around Stonebridge Road. I was very curious to find out the surrounding neighborhood and little interesting facts, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. So, without any further ado, here's Mr. Charles Webster.
Hello.
Hi, I'm here.
Right, we're here. We're ready to talk and roll.
Okay. I was going to ask you about the weather, but you gave me a traffic report.
Yeah, well, at the moment, we don't know if we've got a game on tonight.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's pacing around hoping for an update from the Hayes coach, but of course it's going to affect our players getting here, and it's also going to affect supporters.
Wow. Well, let's just continue then. I just listened to your report about Saturday's game and the 7-0 win. Tyrone Seeley sounds like an interesting and fascinating player. He's still on trial, right? I don't think we've signed him yet. Do you want to talk him up a little bit? Because just from what you said, it got me excited that he seems like an exciting player.
Well, there's not much I can tell you about Tyrone Seeley, other than I think he was a young player with Stevenage Borough. I think he's also seen service with Hitchin Town. And we first saw him over at Aveley when he set up a goal for Scott Ginty. And he picked up the ball on the halfway line. He beat up the challenge from an Aveley defender, and he ran the length of the field from the halfway line to the opposing goal area and squared for Ginty to score, and he showed an amazing turn of pace. And immediately the three fans that were there went, wow, that boy can motor. And he's done pretty much the same thing since he's been with the club from that day. And last Saturday we saw him come on and score an absolute cracker down at Ramsgate, and he scored again on Tuesday evening at Erith. So not only has he got pace, not only does he look like a brave, intelligent player, but he certainly knows where the back of a net is. And I know a lot of fans are saying on the message boards, Liam, are we going to sign this guy? Well, Liam's hoping to take another good look at players this evening. I'm sitting in, actually, the seat dugout. I'm sitting where Paul McCarthy and Liam would be sitting as I speak to you. But we're waiting for news of the Hayes team coach, which is held up on the M25 as it comes around from Middlesex, because the Dartford Crossing Bridge was closed for 4 hours this afternoon because of a lorry on fire.
Oh, wow.
And that caused absolute traffic chaos in northwest Kent and southeast London. The Blackwall Tunnel log jam, the Dartford Crossings are log jam, and so we're hoping we're going to have a team to play this evening to give Liam a chance to get his players to another workout. And this could be the final edition for some of these guys. It's a bit like American Idol or the X Factor, and this could be their last chance to impress the judges. But if this game doesn't go ahead, there is one more friendly on Tuesday evening, but that's against Kent Chatham Town, down there in the Medway Towns. I think Liam would have used that to really look at squad players and some of the younger players, but he may need to use that to look at some of the trialists if this game doesn't go ahead. But we're hoping he does. It's still an hour before kick-off here at Stonebridge Road, but as I say, we're still waiting for news that the full Hayes team coaches arrived. We've got one or two of their players that have travelled here by their own transport. But at the moment, whether we've got a game to look at those trialists once again, that's in doubt.
Well, you know, I don't want to bring up last year, but I believe we lost both games. Was it 2-1 at home and then 4-2 on the road? And I just remember on the boards, I believe that Hayes and Yetting is a part-time club, and so those are some bad losses.
Well, I've got to tell you, they were two of the most abysmal performances of last season, and possibly two of the most abysmal performances that I've seen from the team when they were in the Blue Square Premier during that, I thought, 8-year spell. And for some reason, Little Hayes, they seemed to win both games more than we did. And although they were part-time, they put in full-time commitment and effort. I think this season, because they're trying to cling on to their Blue Square Premier status, they've sort of gone quasi full-time with maybe some training sessions during the day as well as training sessions in the evening. And I think they're edging more towards professional because the Blue Square Premier is completely and utterly dominated by full-time professional clubs. And there's only a handful that have got any part-time element to them at all, which is, I think, another reason why perhaps this season it was a good thing for the team to be in the Blue Square South as a semi-pro side competing on a more level footing, because I think to remain professional in the Blue Square Premier, it would have, it would have been quite a big task, bearing in mind the resources available to not just Liam, but to the office as they run the club.
Right, I agree. You know, if this game goes on tonight, it will be exciting, and I hope that we do well just to exact some revenge because of last year.
It's going to be a good test because obviously, they're playing at the standard we were at last year, and so you would expect their squad to maintain, the quality that they had last year. Even though we've got one of their players in Ran Mara, he's joined us, and they've got one of ours in Peter Holmes. He's gone to Hayes and played for them. But otherwise, they've got sides that they expect to compete with the Blue Square Premier level. So of all the pre-season friendlies, the Gillingham game was a stern test, and I think this will be the next strongest out of all the fixtures before we kick off against Maidenhead down here in a week or so.
Yeah, and even that one, Maidenhead, that's not going to be easy. They're a Kent rival, so I'm sure that'll be tough too.
No, Maidenhead, thankfully not one of our Kent rivals. They're based over near Heathrow. But the thing about that club is that obviously for us this season, we've never played in the Blue Square South. So this is the first time we're going to be competing at this level. Although we did play Maidenhead when we were in the old Ryman Premier, but a lot of these clubs are going to be this England for the first time. Certainly in recent years, because we've been playing at a high level for about 8 years. We're in the Blue Square Premier this time around, well, the conference as it was called. And so things like Maidenhead coming to town, it's going to be a new experience for us. So I'm sure that Liam's done his homework. He's got people that have been giving him some inside information on how they play, who plays for them. Just like tomorrow, we won't be playing, so I'm going to go on a secret scouting mission. I'm going to go in disguise. I'm going to go and watch Dartford playing a friendly at Tunbridge Angels. I'm actually going to report for BBC Radio Kent, but it's going to be very interesting for me to see the darts in action just a couple of weeks before we go to play our oldest and our most bitterest rival at their place at Prince's Park, which is only about 4 miles away from here.
Wow.
But boy, is that a fixture that Blue fans are looking forward to. There's even talk they may make it all ticket. I mean, that is one of the biggest fixtures in Kent football, and I know that Dart fans and Fleet fans can't wait for it to come round.
Yeah, no, neither can I.
I tell you what, it's difficult for me because I was born in Dartford and I live in Dartford. And, for me to be a Fleet fan in Dartford, I have to walk around with a full steering glasses.